I really think that we've all been there. We feel like we're just going to spend a couple of minutes on social media, whether it be YouTube or Instagram or Snapchat, and the next thing we know, 45 minutes has gone by. A lot of times we quickly run to these apps trying to satisfy some sort of desire that we have within us. But what happens is we end up feeling worse off than when we open the app in the first place. So in this video, I want to go ahead and share with you guys 4 different things that you can turn to instead of just mindlessly scrolling on your phone. And make sure you guys stick around for the 4th tip because I really think you guys will get a lot of value out of that one. So with that, let's go ahead and start with number 1, tidy up. So instead of picking up your phone and scrolling, consider cleaning up. Consider cleaning up the spaces that you live in and that you work in every single day. Whatever that might be, consider just making an effort to make it a little bit cleaner. So if it's your room, maybe take some of the clothes that you have on that chair that has all the clothes on it already and moving it into the closet. Or if it's in your car, consider taking out just a little bit of the trash that you might have just lying around so that it's a little bit cleaner. Or consider other items that you might have lying around the house, whether it's old games, whether it's shoes. Just go ahead and find a way to gather that up, put it in a bag, and donate it to somebody who could use it. See, these are all things that don't take too much time, but they all have a pretty significant payoff over time. I've personally found that when I take the time to do these things, it helps me to think clearer and to feel like life is less chaotic overall. Number 2, connect with friends and family. For me, I know that some of my best memories are from those that were spent with my friends and my family. But as we get older, I feel like it's so much easier to grow apart than it is to grow together. I believe growing together truly takes an added bit of intentionality, but I believe that it's also extremely worth it. So instead of using that time that you were going to spend just scrolling through, consider sending a message to a family member. Consider FaceTiming or calling one of your friends that you haven't talked to in a little bit of time and see how they're doing. Check in on people and see where that leads to, because you never know. That person may have been waiting for your call all along, or maybe you'll make their day simply by just reaching out to them. So fill that time with something that's a little bit more meaningful. Number 3, move your body. There are so many added benefits just by moving our body. And if you substitute just a few minutes every single day, that truly can add up over time. You start small and you progress, but you'll notice that over time, you'll start noticing real and visible changes as you stick with it. Number 4, read a book or listen to a podcast. Now, this one is my personal favorite because it's something that I really love to substitute scrolling on my phone with. I feel like a lot of the ways that I've grown and a lot of the things that I've learned are attributed to the books and the podcasts that I've listened to or read. I know one of the biggest excuses as to why people say that they can't read books is because they feel like they don't have enough time. Well, if you feel like you don't have enough time, one of the great ways to mitigate this is by listening to the books instead. Personally, I use an app called Libby, which allows you to listen to free audiobooks just by having a library card. There's several apps out there that allow you to do the same thing, but that's personally the one that I use. But I think this app is great because it's allowed me to listen to so many books on demand and while I'm doing other things where I wouldn't typically be able to read a physical book. So if I'm doing dishes, I can listen to an audiobook. If I'm driving in the car, I can listen to an audiobook. If I'm standing in line, if I already have a headphone in, maybe I can listen to a podcast. I think that it's such a great way to fill some of that dead time when you want to be doing something, but you simply can't because you're engaged with another task. Just find a book that intrigues you or touches on a topic that you have interest in and read it. Read it and go through that book or that podcast or that series and learn something new instead of reaching for your phone and just mindlessly scrolling through. And with books, you don't have to read them all in one sitting. You can read them little by little. I mean, you can even read 1 page a day, but again, over time, you'll start noticing that by making these small changes, it'll have a bigger impact as time goes on. At the end of the day, there's nothing inherently wrong with scrolling on your phone, but I'm of the belief that sometimes we make an excuse to go ahead and just waste time on our phones. So I'd encourage you guys to ask yourself, what are you scrolling through? How long are you scrolling for? And why are you scrolling in the first place? There's a lot of great stuff that we can miss out on if we have our heads always buried in our phones. But let me know what you guys think. Have you guys found any good ideas or things that you like to turn to when you feel like scrolling on your phone? If you guys like this video, I'd appreciate if you leave a like, and if you're brand new, feel free to subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope to see you in the next one.